At some point in your parenting career, you will hit a point where you'll think, I just don't know what to do. It's so important for you to know it's a total lie that you don't know what to do. This matters because every time you think, I don't know, it leaves you feeling powerless, a victim to your child's difficulties and everything else going on around you. And it will play out that you actually don't do anything as long as you hold on to the thought, I don't know what to do, making it completely true. So let me explain and help you know what to do when you believe I don't know what to do. I teach these classes to help parents like you move away from feeling helpless and powerless, where we circle in indecision and fatigue, and I help you move back to powerful parenting, where you know you are a positive influence on your child, no matter what they're facing. When we feel powerless, often in one way or another, we end up acting a little bit like a toddler throwing a tantrum. Our inner voice starts whining, complaining, and acting like we're not grown adults with wisdom, ideas, and resources to figure things out. There are so many forms of I don't know. See if any of these sound familiar to you. I don't know what to do. I don't know what medication is right for my son. I don't know if we should get more help, or I just don't know if we're getting the right help. I don't know what will happen. I don't know if anything is helping. I don't know if I can do this another day. First, I want to tell you I've been there so many times, and sometimes I still go there for a few minutes. It's totally normal for you to think you don't know what to do. The brain feels safer with the thought, I don't know what to do, than thoughts about what you can do. It just wants to keep it on repeat. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. It feels like the truth, but really it's just a thought. It's literally just a gap filler from your brain, not a fact. And even though it's just a gap filler, if I were to ask you right now if you felt like I don't know is a useful way to think, most of you would say yes, it's a very useful way to think. We think it's helpful because sometimes we haven't figured out what to do yet. We haven't decided our next step. We might be in a situation where we need more information or more support. The brain is always going to shy away from the unknown. So let me show you why I don't know in any of its forms is so toxic for you showing up as a powerful parent. I'm going to put the thought, I don't know, in what's called the model. It's a way to see what result or what life we're creating for ourselves from any thought we have, including the thought, I don't know. I'll share an example from one of my client sessions last week. The client's child had a diagnosis of anxiety and depression. Her child is sleeping a lot less than she used to at night, which is amping up her depression and anxiety. That goes on the circumstance line of the model because a diagnosis is always a fact. As soon as we have a circumstance in our life, the brain immediately begins the process of trying to make sense of it by giving us all kinds of thoughts about it. All of our brains are doing this all of the time, even when we're not aware of it. One of her thoughts about it was, I don't know what else to do. As soon as we have a thought, we automatically have a feeling shoot through our body. This client was feeling defeated and scared. Once we have a feeling, we're wired as humans to do something. In the model, this is called the action line, where we do or don't do things because of the feeling we have. So when my client felt defeated and scared, she shut down. I'm sure this is familiar for you too. We all do it. Her actions were getting back in bed, eating bad, ruminating, which is where her thoughts spin out on all the bad things that could happen and how they're never going to find a solution. When she feels defeated and scared, she snaps at her family members, she got frustrated easily, she's tired, she doesn't get done the things she planned on doing, and she doesn't start getting info and help for the situation so she can move forward. She also found that when she feels defeated and scared, she gets controlling of her child and hypervigilant, worrying about every little thing they do and say. She wastes time on her phone so she doesn't have to think about anything. So can you see that when she does these things, she literally creates her thought in her life? She basically doesn't do anything and proves herself right that she doesn't know what to do. Those come from her actions, what she does and doesn't do, not from the circumstance of her daughter's diagnosis. This will play out the same way for her and every human on the planet, including me and you, as long as we stay in the headspace of, I don't know what to do. We'll create that into our lives and prove ourselves right again and again, over and over, as long as we think that thought. Our minds always want us to believe that we feel things like defeated and scared because of a diagnosis or some other thing that has happened, but that's not true. I promise you my client is only feeling scared and defeated because she's thinking, I don't know what to do. But there's a lot of other things we could think instead that would be so much more useful and powerful. If you don't believe it can be that simple, watch this. Here is where my client decided to take this thought instead. And I promise you can do the same thing. with the same circumstance of her child's diagnosis of anxiety and depression, her child not sleeping, and that amping up her anxiety and depression, she just chose to think instead, we're doing the right things to help her. I want you to pause and think about your child and tell yourself that same thought. I'm doing the right things to help them. How do you feel when you think that? My client felt relief and peace. Do you see how thinking something different causes better and more useful emotions inside of you? Now remember, when we feel something, we're wired to do something, to act. When she felt relief and peace, she was much more present in the moment. Her mind didn't spin out on all the things that could happen. She was more calm and happier around her family. She didn't feel so much brain fog and felt more energized. She was more likely to do all the things she had planned and was less worried about her child. Take a look at that. Do you see how the results she creates now with this new thought? We're doing the right things to help her. Literally creates the life where she's doing what she considers the right things. Things like being present, calm, following her schedule, and so on. You can do this too. When your brain wants to spin out telling you, I don't know what to do, slow it down and show yourself the life you're creating when you allow yourself to think that. You can do this by putting it in the order I just showed you, the model. Once you've done that, find a thought you can believe that's more useful and empowering than I don't know what to do. Because that thought is never going to create a powerful parent and you feeling good about yourself. If you need some help figuring out how to do this in your life, go to my website below and schedule a time to meet with me. You don't have to spin out with your child while they're struggling. I want you to know it's 100% possible to turn difficult and powerless situations into powerful moments in your family. I referenced the thought pattern called the model in this video quite a few times. I've made a whole video about that. I want you to go watch it now. It will change everything for you as you get a handle on your thoughts and what they're creating in your life. And I just want to thank you so much for watching.